Now that we've talked about your workstation, we're going to talk more about what you can do at your workstation throughout the day to keep your body as healthy as possible. This next series will go through some exercises that we recommend you doing at least once an hour. You can do these all in sequence, or you can take micro breaks throughout the hour and do these, for example, when you're answering the phone or getting up to go to the restroom. We will show these both in sitting and standing.
Moving on to office stretches, you want to complete these periodically throughout your workday. Ideal is every 1 to 2 hours. Before beginning your stretches, you want to start with a few deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and a nice slow exhale through your mouth. After your 3 deep breaths, we're going to begin with some neck rolls. Let your chin gently drop down towards your chest and roll one ear to shoulder, back to the center, and the other ear to your shoulder. After neck rolls, we're going to work into trunk rotation. You're going to cross your arms across your chest, turn as far as you can one direction, and then the other direction, repeating 2 to 3 times. From here, we will go into a side bend. You're going to reach your arm up overhead and across your midline into a side stretch. Come back down, opposite arm reaches up overhead, again across your midline into a side stretch. Again, you will clasp your hands up overhead into an overhead reach stretch. From here, you can side bend right and left to increase the stretch. Bringing your arms back down by your side, resting onto the armrests. You're going to move into some shoulder rolls, lifting your shoulders up, back, and down, and then reversing the direction up, forward, and down. The next stretch will be for your spine. Your hands will rest on your knees. You're going to drop your chin down towards your chest and roll forward, arching your back. And then restack your spine, pressing your hands through your knees into an extension position of the spine as you look up towards the ceiling. Repeat, dropping your chin to your chest and rolling forward to flex the spine. Then restack and extend the spine. Coming back to your neutral position, the final stretch will be for your wrists in the seated position. You're going to reach one hand out in front of you, grab your fingers, and give a gentle pull back, feeling the stretch along the front of your wrist. Repeat with the other hand, feeling again the stretch across the front of your wrist. You can repeat this on both hands as many times as you feel necessary to get your needed stretch.
Now we're going to go and get up from your chair, or if you are standing, stay standing, and we're going to do some lower body stretches.
Going to begin with calf raises. You're going to position your feet directly under your hips and lift up onto the balls of your feet. Lift and lower 5 to 10 times to get some movement through the foot and ankle. Next, you'll bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and we're going to move into a deep squat position. You want to reach your arms forward or overhead as you sit back as low as you can, bringing your sit bones down towards your heels. It's important to work on getting as far down into a squat as possible to loosen your hips. Next, we're going to move into a knee to chest stretch. This will also challenge your balance. Standing on one leg, you'll bring the knee towards your chest, grasping it with your hand and giving it a slight tug. Switch to the other side. Again, pulling the knee up towards the chest with a slight tug to increase the stretch. The next stretch will be working your spine into extension. You're going to place your hands on your hips and lean back, looking up towards the ceiling. You'll feel your pelvis shift forward towards the front of your foot. Again, work on your range of motion, trying to increase the amount of extension you get with each stretch. The final stretch will be for your quads. Again, standing on one leg, you're going to reach for your lower ankle or your toe, pulling your heel up towards your sit bones to feel a stretch along the front of your thigh. If you need help with balance, you can place the opposite hand on your desk. Lower that foot, then switch and repeat on the other side. Another modification for that stretch, if you can't reach your foot, is to just place it on your chair behind you. standing as tall as possible to increase the stretch into the front of your thigh. Lower and repeat on the other side. In standing, you're going to begin by taking 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to move into a neck stretch, rolling your neck from side to side, bringing one ear towards the same shoulder, then repeating in the opposite direction. From there, we'll move into trunk rotation, crossing your arms from shoulder to shoulder and twisting right to left. The next stretch is an overhead side bend stretch, reaching one arm at a time up overhead and bending to the opposite side. You should feel a stretch along the length of your side from arm to hip. You can then clasp your hands overhead and again side bend from left to right, feeling a long stretch from your arm down towards your hip. We'll go into shoulder rolls next, lifting your shoulders up, back, and down 3 to 4 times, then reversing the direction. Moving into wall slides, arms up at your side, elbows bent, sliding your arms up overhead as if along an imaginary wall. Then grab your right arm, pull it across your midline to feel a stretch along the back of the shoulder, repeating right and left. For waiter's tips, your palms will be facing the ceiling and you'll rotate your arms away from midline to feel a stretch across your chest. For standing cat-cow, you'll bend forward, hands on your knees, arching your back up towards the ceiling, then lowering down towards the floor. Moving into a wrist stretch, reach your arm out in front of you, grasp your fingertips, and pull your hand back towards your body.